Sunny, what are your tips for today then?
So we are going to talk about makeup for acne-prone skin.
Okay.
And specifically kind of how to do your makeup, what kind of products to use, and also how to prep. Very important.
Right, okay, let's take it away, Sunny.
I love that. So number one is always, like start with a clean canvas. So always have clean skin, use quite a gentle cleanser, and clean hands. So sanitize, even if you washed your hands, sanitize your hands, because acne and bacteria, it's not a good combo. So always make sure, and your brush is clean. Everything needs to be
smells lovely.
clean.
What is that? Okay.
It's lavender hand sanitizer. It's really good. And then also, a lot of the time you will have kind of a tendency to overcover everything. If you've got acne and if your skin is not looking great, the tendency is to cover too much. And I'm kind of urging not to go down that route. To potentially, like my favorite thing is to mix your moisturizer with foundation. So thin it out a bit or use a tinted moisturizer. And first do that all over your face. And the type of moisturizers that I would use are unscented, unfragranced, very, very hypoallergenic, nothing scented. And so you do your first layer with that, and then you can kind of get your skin to an even tone, and then you start identifying where you need to cover a little bit more. So my absolute favorite product for acne-prone skin is you can get these Vichy products from Boots, and this is Dermablend, and this is actually a foundation. However, I use it as a spot concealer after that foundation thing. So I'll show you what I do.
How do you come across these things and know you? Did you just sit there experimenting all
I
day?
experiment a lot.
A lot, okay.
I've got a little lab at home. But what I do is I put a little bit on my hand. I take my brush, this is a fluffy brush, and then pretending that this is my skin, my cheek, or wherever I have acne, I just literally buff it in like this.
Okay. So you're not caking it on, you're just doing it very gently. Okay.
And if you've got a slightly larger area with acne, because this is foundation, but it covers really well, you're just putting a super light coating of it. And also, so if you use foundation, concealer brushes, kind of like this, flat ones, you tend to put on a big layer, and also you tend to have a really kind of, like an outline around it. Whereas if you use a fluffy brush, there's no outline. It just kind of blurs it in really well. And then you always set with powder. So a very light dusting of powder is really good. And speaking of brushes, you gotta keep these babies clean. We did an episode a month or two ago about cleaning makeup brushes. Keep them clean. If you have acne, I would almost, well, not after every use, but every couple of uses, I would just give them a quick wash. It's super important. Mineral makeup is another really great tip. I've got two mineral products with me. This one is a blush. So acne people often, because you get a redder undertone, a little bit. So people tend to stay away from blush. I wouldn't say stay away from it. Use it very sparingly. And here, keep your blush kind of like quite high up on the face, so you're not actually putting red on top of red. And when you're using a mineral-based blush, this is Bare Minerals, absolutely lovely products.
I love Bare Minerals.
They are so good, and they're all natural and vegan and all of that. And they are not going to clog your pores. So your pores are going to be happy.
Happy pores.
Happy pores. Yeah. You can also, if you're feeling brave, you can also go mineral makeup for the foundation. Now, they can be a little bit trickier to use because the tendency with these is to really kind of, I'll show you, because it's like, I'm sure that you ladies all know what mineral makeup looks like. This is powder, so the tendency is to think that, oh, I can put it on as much as I like. They can look just as cakey.
It's true, yeah.
Like look really cakey. So what I do is I put the tiniest bit on the lid, like literally a tiny bit. And then again with a small brush, not the whole face, small brush, tap all the excess off. They actually do this in the Bare Minerals, like QVC ad.
I know, I do the same thing, I love it.
And then you go round, but again, don't cake it on. This is powder, but it's still makeup, so it will look just as cakey. But the benefit of it is mineral makeup is really good for acne-prone skin, so it's gonna be
It's funny, you'd think that people mainly go for the other kind of foundation and stuff, but it kind of makes sense.
This does cover really well, and it won't aggravate anything. But like, I think that most people will be really familiar with my last tip is when you feel bad about your skin, you kind of want to cover it up, but the idea is often with makeup is like draw attention to the parts that you want to bring out. So if your skin is not looking great and you're not feeling great, concentrate in the eyes, do an amazing smoky eye, like draw everybody's eyes in. Put on some fake lashes if you feel like it, if you're feeling adventurous. We need to do a segment about fake lashes at some point. Putting them on, I'll put some on you.
Nope, I don't like them.
She doesn't like them. Or like a really bright lip. So if you're feeling, you know, go super red, go pink, do something that draws the attention away from the skin. And also ideally, take the hair away from the face. So hair products or natural oils in the hair, because when they fall on your face, that's going to make the problem worse again.